No, I always hated the anxiety of being in the back of the plane. I just remember, like, the worst is whenever you would get your seat and you'd sit there and they're about ready to close the door and you'd have that empty seat next to you. Like, the poor man's first class. You're like, oh, shit, I'll bring the armrest up. I can actually be great. And then all of a sudden, some fat bastard gets on the platform and you're like, no. You're like Quint at the end of Jaws, like sliding down the boat. I swear to God, this is all true. This dude got on. He was so fat. He was sitting next to me. I was literally next to him and behind him. He like tried to make himself smaller, and he like folded his arm, and his lat came out like a, you know, those old Western saloon things. I'm just sitting behind this thing. So that motivates you to try to get to a certain place in life. So all these years,
20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you...
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at Benny groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. That just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled. You know?
Yeah.
You get an above-ground pool for $30 off. There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like, make it like a high-end store. Like, you're going to, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
They got trampled.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're gonna go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down, and then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you gotta know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're gonna make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're gonna blow out and eat. It's just like, it's the saddest thing. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, like at a ridiculous level.
Right.
Just saying, I miss that guy. I miss him already. He should have told us. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. And then it's just like, Caitlyn. Then you couldn't react. You couldn't on any level be like, oh my God, you know, what the F? On any level, you couldn't say that, or you automatically homophobic. It's like, dude, I didn't hear your inner thoughts. I didn't know what you were doing. All of a sudden, you're supposed to... Dude, you shaved your beard off. People were like, oh my God, that's your chin? Wow. This guy walked out a dude, came back a woman. You're just supposed to be like, oh yes, anyways, Caitlyn, that's all I was saying. Yeah, I remember one night we had cube steaks, which is like one of the toughest pieces of meat. Cube steak was like, they literally had to hit it with a hammer to make it like edible. And so we were having cube steaks, and I forget, my little brother was still in a high chair, and he couldn't finish his. So my mother goes, all right, well, you're just gonna have to eat it for breakfast. And that was like 8 hours away, which was like half his life. So he was like, all right, I'll take that deal. So the next morning, I remember we were having waffles. My mother always made Sunday breakfast, so we had all these waffles, eggs, bacon, this whole layout. My brother was looking at half-eaten cube steaks and a little mound of green bean casserole. And he goes, so he looked at my mom, he goes, Mom, can I have a waffle? And she goes, no, you got to finish your supper. He's like, well, after I finish my supper, then can I have a waffle? She goes, no, that is your breakfast. And he goes, oh, Mom, I hate you. And my dad, without looking up, took a full glass of milk and threw it in his face. Swear to God. This is what kills me. What kills me.
You want everyone today to have as miserable a childhood as you had.
No, but it was kind of funny. We know what's hilarious was my mother just popped up and just immediately started cleaning up, and my dad just kept eating. I'm kind of going the opposite of all the people who do like the Botox and the hair plugs and try to look 22 for the rest of their life.
Right.
You know, when they really just, they don't look good.
Yeah.
You know?
You're saying why? Don't fake it. Just embrace it. Embrace
they
it.
make your eyes water when you look at them. And my wife's always watching like those Real Housewives and stuff, and they just look exhausted. They're like in their You know what it always reminds me of? Remember when Brett Favre played on the Vikings?
Yeah.
And it was just like, just retire, dude. You're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah.
It's over. And those women, it's like, yeah, you had your time. You were beautiful, and it's over.
So
people grown. You don't remember when you were a kid, you went into the club, and there was that older person hanging out? That creep? Yeah, that's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing.
50's not the new 40. It's 50. I am 50. All right? I have to go see doctors.
Yeah.
I have to have blood taken. So I feel young physically, but mentally, like when I watch TV, it makes me feel old.
What makes you feel old about watching TV?
Music, there's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, they run out of the room like they just saw a witch. Everybody's like, oh! They just take off. It's like, really? You had virtual reality glasses on, you're playing all these video games, and all somebody has to do? I mean, that's like a game like Tom Sawyer would have played. So it's stuff like that I'm just like, I'm not ridiculing it. It's just like, wow, I can't relate to this.
You can't relate to it.
Just say it, like, yeah, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, like, points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean? We're kind of watering down what is heroic behavior.
You don't think that guy, the guy who points in the direction is...
Yeah, the guy doing Warrior One, like the yoga pose. Like, the battlefield is that way. No, but everything has just become that. It's just become like this,
right.
this, you know, that whole first responder thing, you know, all these, like, code words you have to say. It's so stupid. I'm a first responder. I love that one. It's like, dude, I called you. I saw the fire. What am I? What do you have, like ESP? We just want to thank our first responders, and just everything has just become, and it drives me up the wall.
All right, we're gonna take a little break.
Watch college football.
Okay.
And it's fine.
Okay.
Because I have a simple male brain that can just sit there and just enjoy it. I can just enjoy it.
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So they got the shoes they want, and then they see some other woman walking in going, oh, look at this skinny bitch over here. She thinks she's cute, right? And that's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with, like, a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves.
So you're saying that because you're happy that you think your wife and women in general want to take
They're jealous of it. They're jealous how simple the male brain is, that you can just sit there and be entertained and find true happiness, and it just bugs them, so they gotta ruin it. And they're slowly taking over the NFL. You know, all next month, once again, they're gonna dress everybody in the NFL like newborn baby girls, for whatever reason. Did you forget that there's breast cancer for a year ago?
Yeah, so they did it last year, and they're gonna do it again this year.
Yes. They're slowly gonna take it over, and they're gonna move us out. Because I'm telling you, I don't understand why they keep trying to go into a male football league. It's like, why don't you guys band together and start your own league? Get your own thing going. But I realize they don't want their own thing. They don't want their own shit. They want our shit. I don't know what it is. And I think it's because we're happy. We're just sitting there enjoying ourselves, having a good time without them. It drives them nuts. And they just got to go in there and ruin it.
So they got women's basketball.
They don't even like it. They don't even like most of them don't even like football. Like, I don't get it. I don't get, like, the fascination. Like, if my wife is having, like, 3 of her friends over, I screw. I leave. I don't need to be there and ruin it for her. I know you guys. I'm going to change the dynamic because I'm there, and you can't talk about 100% female stuff. Out of courtesy, I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to leave.
But they can't do that, you're saying?
One guy, one chauvinistic jackass up there understands what I'm saying.
College admission scandal.
Oh, I love that.
The parents, you love it.
The funny thing about that scandal is that they got their dumb kids in there, but then they were able to handle the curriculum with no problem.
Right.
Like, none of them flunked out. So I guess evidently the real difficulty is getting in.
Getting into those
Once
colleges.
you're in, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So you went to Harvard, right? So I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
How did you find it? Was it difficult?
I'll tell everybody this. I worked really, really hard as a kid. I was a grind and went to public schools. And then I got in, and I did think once I got in, this is not, I was terrified.
Right,
I thought I was going to
be.
I thought I was going to be the stupidest person there. I was filled with feelings of inadequacy. And then I don't think it was harder than any other college that anybody's gone to. I really believe that.
I don't know, but I think I can't imagine the embarrassment in those houses.
But you're smiling so much just thinking about it.
I'm smiling more because, no, I've made a bunch of mistakes. I don't hold people, I don't know. I still watch O.J. Simpson highlights. I do. I'm a football fan. He's one of the top 5 running backs of all time.
You're able to compartmentalize.
But he's all of that. When he goes into a restaurant and they go, murderer, murderer, he's not just that. He also won the Heisman Trophy. He get 2,000 yards in a 14-game season. It's just like people they're complex.
Do you think anyone, when he walks into a restaurant, anyone yells out, Heisman Trophy?
I would be adding stuff on, Naked gun! Naked gun!